PT. 4, 5, me taca no carro, bicho. 1, 2, 3, vou sarrando na PT. 4, 5, me taca no carro, bicho. 1, 2, 3, vou sarrando na PT. 4, 5, me...
4, 5.
Woo-hoo! Now that's a shout from the rooftops for the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, a very huge feast around the church in honor of the Blessed Mother who appeared to Juan Diego in 1531. And there's a miracle associated with her image in Mexico City that you can see this lasted several hundred years. Yes. And I won't go into it because Fletcher says I'll go on too long. But watch our first stream. We talked about it.
No. It's if you go down to Mexico, it's it's very beautiful. I believe we both have been, and it's the Basilica de Guadalupe, and it's a beautiful church. Very unique.
It's a basilica.
In its design.
It's bigger than a cathedral. It's amazing. Right. And if you go, please, of course, the main draw is this image that Fletcher has on the screen. It's one that has been studied by scientists, and there's not a single, it looks like you're looking at color in a painting. There's not a single shred of paint on that image, you all. It appeared spontaneously on what's called the tilma, or like a kind of poncho that were worn by the Indians back in the 1500s. And this man saw her and said, the mother of Jesus said to build a church here. There were a lot of horrible sacrifices on the same hill called Tepeyac Hill. They were killing babies. They were doing live taking of hearts, of beating hearts from people, throwing them off cliffs for sacrifice to their pagan god. And after the bishop believed it and said, okay, fine, I'll put a church, something like 1 million, maybe 10 million Indians got baptized into our Lord Jesus Christ. So it's a very holy miracle. It's a really beautiful story. And if you go see it, you're going to be amazed because you can look at it and you'll say, oh, it looks like a beautiful painting. It's not. They've done it. They put it under microscopes over the years. They've done everything. There's not a single paint on it. There's no chemicals. There's nothing. They don't know how this image came to be. Sir Glenn says, doesn't Danny Trejo have Our Lady of Guadalupe? It's a giant tattoo. Does he?
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Wow.
He has Our Lady of Guadalupe on us. I think, he has her, but he also has, I think, Salma Hayek. So it's
oh, that's okay. We'll forget that.
It evens out. Yeah,
we'll forget it evens out. You know what? There it is. It's beautiful. It's inspired so much devotion. And you know what's in? I'm not going to go on and on, Fletcher, but I do encourage people, if you're interested, try to find either one of the documentary videos or one of the books that have looked at this from a scientific perspective, because in the picture, there's actual, this is the actual image. It's not painted again. It was on this very holy, already a Catholic Christian Indian. He'd already come to Christ during the Spanish occupation of Mexico. He's a humble guy when he met her on this hill, and it just appeared there along with a bunch of roses that the bishop knew from his hometown of Spain that he was longing for. So it was a real sign to him that maybe this guy did see something. And then in the image, there's actual constellations that are accurate that people at that time would not have known without high-level astronomical devices. And inside her eyes, which we can't see here because you need like a much closer look, they're actual kind of, I don't know the science, you all, but you can look this up. There's one book called Our Lady of Guadalupe, What Her Eyes Say. And there were hundreds of ophthalmologists, specialists of the eye, who looked at this image to say, this is completely accurate of how the eye sees so it's taken from the point of view of someone who's looking out. And they're saying there's no way they would have known how to do the refractions or whatever it is. So it's a really amazing holy image. And if you get a chance to go to Mexico, absolutely go check this out. It's worth it. And today's the feast that the Mexicans just go crazy. They go have parties. If you're in a place where there are a lot of Mexican Americans, you're going to know they're going to have tacos outside the church. There's going to be a lot of celebration. Hey, Lady Jen. Welcome.
Hey, King of Bees. Hey, Lady Jen.
Hail, Lady Jen.
Thank you so much for guys. We really appreciate you guys being here.
We do. We really do.
We love it. Yeah.
We were celebrating today.
We were, yeah.
It's a feast day.
Feast day, yeah. It's one of those days where you gotta eat well. It was crazy. I did a short on it, and on the short I showed the Basilica de Guadalupe in Mexico City, and they were singing. They always bring the mariachis to sing Las Mañanitas, which is a traditional birthday song. And all the bishops come out and they all sing together with the mariachis and stuff like that. And it's, thousands of people all over the place.
Oh, it's a big thing.
Million all over the world.
I think it's a national holiday in Mexico.
It is, yes.
And it makes sense because honestly, it's not just a religious festival. It is political because, again, this came about during the Spanish colonial period. There was a lot of conflict. But with this image of Our Lady, the natives believed, no, this Christian God is real. Like we don't have to fight that part. You know what I mean? And they became, I'm sorry, we have to be honest, they had savage practices with their religion and they got rid of them. That's why you have a civilized Mexico. Well, as much as you can say that because they have ups and downs, but they're not still doing sacrifices of that nature, like off a hill and stuff. Those kinds of things were really entrenched and they went away. People voluntarily, in fact, there are journals about priests saying like they were passing out from how many people they were baptizing. I mean, they were baptizing with full immersion, no sprinkling of the head with water. I mean, they were putting them in the water and they were doing like thousands a day. They were so tired from so many people coming to be baptized that they were writing about this to Spain, like send more priests. We can't even get through this all. That's how it's like. It's a big holiday for that reason. It's more than just simple devotional.
No, completely. And we thank her for today and to giving us such a great feast day.
Yeah. So welcome. Yeah, it's a great day. So we have to go live. Happy feast day, everybody. Happy Advent and happy what is it? Are we saying president-elect? President. For those who are celebrating, there's some who are still mourning. Are you still finding people who are mourning, Fletcher? I came upon people today who were still mourning.
Yeah, you did tell me about some of the people that you were hanging out with, and they were kind of mourning today. And well, I can understand it. There were some people that it's funny because I just saw a video of a guy, just out of nowhere, just, flipping people off and all stuff on the road. And that's like, he's your president or something. And
he's still mad.
It's just like a lot of everything.
That's right.
So
and
now
it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Woo! We got to celebrate Friday the 13th.
It's a lucky number for a lot of people.
Is it lucky for people?
Yeah,
for some people, you do know some people are deathly afraid.
Oh, yeah.
There are those who are honestly so afraid they won't go out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, because of, they play the music.
Okay, what is that music? So I don't understand
Friday
that cultural
the 13th.
reference. See, that movie has ruined everything. That's why people are afraid, probably. Although, to be honest, there's even a word for it. I can't pronounce it. It's like triskaidekaphobia. Somebody tell me in the chat if you know how to say it or spell it. It's fear of the number 13. And if you go to New York and other places where I've lived or been, if you go into one of those large, high-rise buildings or apartment buildings or office buildings, they will go from the 12th floor to the 14th floor. You will not have a floor 13 because people think it's so unlucky and people are afraid. So they will literally skip it. I remember when I was like a kid being like, what the heck is this? There's no 12. It goes 12 and then 14. I don't know if people still do that.
I think they still do.
Maybe.
But, yeah, it's one of those things.
We got to pray for those who pray for people tomorrow who are afraid of the Friday.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, one thing that you should be afraid of is this. So a Canadian mayor has a bank account garnished after standing up to some
alphabet people.
yes, the alphabet mafia is in full effect in this one, and it was one of those things to where you're kind of feeling this wasn't done as a form of like, hey, let's be accepting and stuff like that. This
Mm-mm.
was some
Mm-mm.
spite in this one,
Real
and
spite.
yeah, and it kind of felt like, all right, we kind of see where you guys are coming from. So after Mayor Harler McQuaker of Emo, that's a great name by the way. Ontario not be extorted by a LGBT activist group. The latter successfully petitioned the court to garnish 5,000 from the 7-year-old bank account. So this is out of Canada, who's Canada's a little bit crazy.
It's a little bit crazy.
So I guess some activists used to politician officials to do what they say. So I guess Emo, Ontario has a population of 1,200, so tiny town. So it has become a source of their ire. As reported previously in 2020, Emo's town council vote not to issue a pride proclamation or fly the LGBT flag. The town hall doesn't even have a flagpole. I mean, imagine that, right? It's like we're going to push you to fly the flag and make a pride proclamation, but we don't even have a flagpole. In response, I guess Borderland Ply sued the town. Last month, Ontario Human Rights Commission ordered the township to pay the group, so the LGBT group, $10,000, and McQuaker was ordered to personally pay $5,000 and take re-education class called Human Rights 101. What kind of nonsense is this? Because you're saying if you don't do this, we're gonna personally attack you and take your money, and you get re-educated.
Yeah, I mean
Brisbane,
that's exactly what happened. I mean, so just so for people following along at home, let's just take it back if you don't mind, Fletcher, and you can finish reading. So
okay.
this little tiny town in Canada did not come out and say, we hate alphabet people. They said, you know what? We don't want to do it. That's not really our thing. You're insisting we put a rainbow flag in our town to celebrate this 7 deadly sins of pride. And we don't want to do it. We're not into that. No problem. Plus, we don't have a flagpole. Okay. They were sued for that and lost. They had no right to reject that. They had to do it. And then after they lost, this nice gentleman said, I don't want to be bullied, because they said he'd had to be re-educated, like you said, Fletcher, like re-education camp. He had to take Human Rights 101, which is an actual course. It sounds like a meme. And pay out of his own pocket, not just for the town's budget for the fine. They wanted $5,000 from him alone. When he refused to pay, the alphabet mafia group that had brought the lawsuit had him garnished. They took $5,000 from him, the 77-year-old man. I think they're not winning souls to their cause this way.
No, I mean, how they're winning? How could they win souls to their case if they're basically demanding that if you don't do this, we're gonna take your stuff? I mean, it's just insane.
I don't understand how you can compel someone's speech. I know that other places don't have the same freedoms we have in the United States. I'm not required to say something because you want me to say it. By putting up a flag, I am making a statement. They're not. This is where it makes me kind of ticked off, actually, because when I think about Martin Luther King, when he was saying he wanted equality and access, he was saying, hey, when someone's driving along the road and needs a place to stop to buy, gas or use the restroom or get a bite to eat, please don't turn them away because of the color of their skin, right? Please don't say they can't go to school or other things. No one was saying, well, unless you put up a sign that says Black is beautiful, that's it, we're going to fine you. Unless you put up Black Lives Matter. No one says you have to affirmatively say something. We're saying treat people with respect. There's nothing that says in this story that the town was saying they won't let alphabet people come or they won't be treated with respect. They said, we don't want to put up the flag. And that's enough. I'm sorry, you've lost your country. You've lost your country. That's tyranny.
They also had some, some back and forth because the town council, so far the town council hasn't voted
tyranny,
on
Fletcher.
this, and there is tyranny, and I guess they don't know whether to pay the fine or appeal. Because this is a small town, right? I'm sure they don't have that much fun.
They don't. I'm sure that man can't afford $5,000 from his own personal bank account either. And did you see what they said? They said that it would. Okay.
So try to read it.
Okay.
He said he would not be paying the fine or attending the re-education classes. But I guess he's also, I guess they had a little bit of dispute because he didn't want to do the drag queen story hour, which I don't know why they have to have those in the library. And that's, I guess, one of the other events that they were calling for. So I guess that's why they also went around the mayor, requested that $5,000 be taken directly from his bank account. The request was granted.
As though they went on a
victory lap on social media. And then they were like, sure. I think there was wasn't that? I think that's in the. They did a little. They did a.
Oh, look at this! Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So this
is their official, I guess, Twitter account or X account, and they had said, I bet this is when their request was granted, they went on a victory lap on social media. They said, sure, sex is great, but have you ever garnished your mayor's bank account after he publicly refused to comply with the tribunal's order to pay damages? The group posted on Facebook the damages, of course, with the mayor's declining to endorse their ideology. And it's just
for those who can't see the meme. Can I just describe it, Fletcher?
Oh, please.
And so this is the name of the Mafia group called Borderland Pride. It's a reason that's called one of the 7 deadly sins. And it says, who's ready for another Monday? And it has the rainbow with one of those strong arms, which is what they did. They show a bulldozer that is all in rainbow colors with the wheel part mowing down figures that are stick figures that are in black and white that have little signs above them of who they are. And it says traditional family, Christian values, sanctity of marriage, etc. So they're telling you who they are. We're here to mow that down. I thought they just wanted to be treated equally, to have respect and to be able to get married. I thought that's all they wanted. Oh, no. They tell you what they want. They want to mow down traditional family, Christian values, and sanctity of marriage. Yeah, and to get excited because they could take the money of an old guy near retirement, and they say that's better than the act of marital intimacy. Nice.
It's just one of these things where we kind of see it over and over, where you see rights of it's like privilege rights, and then you have other rights, and I just, part of the issue was, I think it's not that they didn't want to comply. Some of the things that they wanted to comply with, they couldn't, they didn't comply with. And another one of these things is, it was kind of contrary to what the small community, is like.
Well, we can't have difference of opinion about this. We all have to agree.
Not in Canada. And that's another reason probably why Jordan Peterson.
I mean, here's the thing. Do people get this? Okay. When you fly a flag, that is a very important and serious endeavor, because you're saying, I claim whatever land is flying on for your cause, right? That's why when people conquer places, right, they bring their home flag and they plant it, right? That's why on the moon, right? What did the astronauts do? They planted a flag. You could very much support alphabet mafia activities, maybe not the mafia part, but alphabet people's activities. But you may not want a flag flying. You may say, look, I'm totally for you. Just like I may not want to fly the African American flag. There is such a flag on my local post office. It doesn't mean I'm not down for Black people. It just means, you know what? I want to fly the American flag. I might want to fly my state's flag, but I'm not comfortable with that. That's good. Fly it on your land. We don't want to that. We're not claiming what your cause is for our town. You're saying that's impossible. So you're saying they don't have freedom because they can't have religious freedom. Our religion says we can't do that. In fact, I know there's people who've had to wear those kinds of pins or Black Lives Matter, or they had to wear like the, alphabet pins. And some of them have said, I think they've been in several stores and there's been a fight about this. And people who are Christians say, look, I don't feel comfortable. I don't think that's something I can wear. I'm not against them. I just can't put that, I'm for Jesus, right? And they've gotten fired, but I know some of them got their jobs back and they got money for at least the United States because they said you can't make somebody wear that.
Yeah, it's almost like if you have, we're not going to have the town decide to put the papacy, our Catholic
right,
flag
the Vatican
up.
flag,
You're
right?
going to apply the Vatican flag. If you don't have the Vatican flag up, then
that's
or
it.
Stuff. Yeah, because at this point it is a religion, and
it is a religion.
It's getting crazier and crazier because people are getting attacked. They're losing, like you see, money and freedoms, but I
and they're
guess
not winning anybody who likes them. I just want to say that it's making it harder for them.
It does make it harder for folks. But Capitol Police arrested a pro-trans man in the assault of Representative Nancy Mace. If you remember, she is the lady who was fighting against, biological men being in women's restrooms.
Right.
Right. So I guess somebody went to the Capitol and attacked her because obviously the security is lax. But now I guess she needs a brace because
oh no.
Yeah, she was attacked basically for her policy saying that all single-sex facilities in the Capitol and House buildings such as restroom, changing rooms, and locker rooms are reserved for the individual. I mean, it's kind of simple, right?
Right.
So I guess she took to X to say that she was physically accosted tonight in the Capitals over the fight to protect women. Capitol Police have arrested him. I love him, I'm sure that's the dick. All violence and threats keep proving our point. Women deserve to be safe. Your threats would not stop the fight for women. Hold the line.
Amen. Hold the line.
Yeah.
But don't you see how dangerous that is? I'm sorry, this is not democracy if you just want to insist that people, using even violence to get your way. That's just unacceptable. And I'm so glad she's okay. I'm sorry to hear that happened. But that makes you wonder, what kind of security have you have on Capitol Hill?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. It's one of those things where you're kind of going, what kind of security guys running over there if people are getting assaulted, especially representatives, Right. Mr. Glenn says, just posted about an email this morning because there was a minus 20. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Minus 24.
Minus 24. That's
Yikes.
cold. Jen says more of a 17 kind of gal. It's my birthday favorite. Woohoo! Happy belated early, very very early, completely early. Yeah,
so never too early to celebrate.
Never too early. Almost in favor of the U.S. planting flag in Canada sometime during the month of February.
Well, didn't Trump say that he wanted to make it the 51st state?
So it was like, we're gonna make it an extra in a state, right? It told Trudeau, hey, why don't you guys just become a state? And
I mean, he was teasing, but some people were triggered by it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you kind of trigger and you kind of go with the best of it. But yeah, It is
It
what
would
it
probably
is.
be better off if we're at the point where we've already talked about the deleting people who need medical care, and now
Yeah.
saying you have to, say what you don't want to say. You don't have a right to have your own mind.
No, completely. Completely. Yeah.
Speaking of one's own mind,
Yeah, or you would have your own mind, right? So, Archbishop urges prayers for Pelosi after she boasts receiving Holy Communion despite his ban. Now, how does that happen?
she's a bit out of control.
Yeah,
So
but
what happened here is that's a great bishop you're showing us, Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone. Can you tell what his ethnicity is?
I don't know.
Probably Irish, right?
It's Korean.
German, Korean,
Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
yeah, just
Um,
Korean.
he's fantastic, actually. He was one of the priests who stood in front of the statue of Juan Junipero Serra when
Right.
people, with the Summer of Love, when people were throwing down statues, and he stood in front of it with his rosary and says, "This is not a white supremacist. This was a holy priest who did a lot." And although he wasn't perfect by any stretch, a lot of what you've been told is incorrect. He was made a saint for a reason. He repented of evil and whatever. So he stood there and led a rosary. I saw the video of it. Well, he's had battles with Pelosi for a while because, as people know, Pelosi is an staunch pro deletion of the unborn. And that goes very contrary to the teachings of the Catholic Church, of which she claims to be a part. And apparently she says she's devout. And this is her bishop, because he's the bishop, the archbishop of that area of San Francisco, whatever all those areas are around. And he's told her before, until you repent, you're a public sinner. I mean, you can't advocate for something that's contrary to God's law and contrary to the truth and contrary to the teachings of the church. So we have always suspected that she didn't care. And now she's come out and said, yeah, I don't care. I've been having communion anyway. So I think people have clamored to the Archbishop so much he had to come out and say something about it. So he has urged people to pray for her. I think that he doesn't want to cause any kind of war. He could excommunicate her. And in fact, under Catholic canon law, she is already excommunicated. It's called latae sententiae. Somebody tell me in the comments I'm saying it wrong. It basically means if you publicly are a heretic, which is what you are, if you say something advocating, not just having a sin, but advocating, pushing, promoting a sin that the church, is against, such as deleting the unborn, then you are automatically excommunicated without the procedure. You have to actually be restored to go back to the church, although it sounds like she doesn't care. She's just doing what she wants anyway. She has some friends on her side that are priests, so
yeah, and she has this whole thing where she's like, I receive communion anyway, that's his problem, not mine. My Catholic faith is Christ my Savior. Nothing to do with the bishop. It's like nothing to do with the bishop. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to say, Nancy.
it is. It is a very interesting thing to say, because the church started by Jesus Christ is hierarchical. Jesus gave the keys to Peter, who gave it to his successors, and so forth. We have a structure. You are supposed to obey. You're not supposed to just do your own thing. And it sounds like she doesn't get that, and she's never really got it. It seems, at least not publicly, since she's been in this office. So we do need to pray for her, because she's older. She's not a spring chicken anymore. She's gonna have to go to her reward. I mean, we never know. Any one of us can go, but at any time. But I mean, maybe she's just honestly deluded. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on in her brain. It's a terrible position to take, honestly.
Right. I mean, you should be wanting to be in repentance, but I think,
especially as a Catholic person,
right?
You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that.
You should be kind of like saying, hey, was there anything I could do about this? But not openly mocking.
Right. I'm going to do what I want.
I'm going to do what I want.
That's not how our church
that's not how it works. But
that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. We need that. We need that meme. Yeah.
We need that meme.
Yeah. It's
but
it's a little bit crazy.
Anyway, right? Because during the coup the famous coup of 2020, when all of San Francisco was shut down, who was getting their hair done, even though there was a rule you could not go get your hair done? It was like no one could get their hair done. No haircuts could be had. But who did we catch on video getting her hair dyed?
Oh, yeah.
She was like, the rules are for thee, not for me.
I know, right?
And apparently
Yeah, well,
that includes, what the
right.
church says too.
Right. But
So we pray
speaking
for
of the
her.
rules, yes, speaking of the rules for thee and not for me, we did see tons of criminals being let out by Mr. DA Alvin Braggs over there in New York. But he was really, really excited to get Mr. Daniel Penny in his clutches for protecting people in the subway. And a lot of publications also were kind of a little bit disingenuous. Have you seen some of them? I think it was the New York Post and a lot of people like different New York Times or something. The AP had like a headline that said that man kills like rider, like subway rider. Not that
he was just a subway
anybody.
rider. He was just a subway rider. He's minding his own business, Fletcher.
Yeah, he was not trying to asult anybody.
He was over there doing a crossword puzzle.
Yeah,
contemplating his existence.
He didn't wind up in jail for attacking
May he rest
people.
in peace, by the way.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to, he didn't say, I'm going to kill all of y'all, which is what, witnesses said he said.
No, he didn't do that. That's just crazy.
That was just a collective imagination.
Yes, if you see our shorts this week, we did did a live one when he was, acquitted.
But let me ask you, Fletcher, did you expect that outcome? Did you think he'd be
not
acquitted?
in New York? No, I did not. I did not expect it in New York. I thought he was going to find guilty of the charges and he was going to go to appeal and he would have gotten out on appeal. I did not expect that because there's no way. I mean, there would have been no way, but I did not expect. But now this I did expect. He's saying that he's going to sue.
Malicious persecution. Good for that.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's talk to Daniel Penny's attorney. Stephen Razor joins us right now. Stephen, congratulations. Good morning to you.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you as well.
So we saw you yesterday. We were running the video of you and Danny and another attorney at the Stone Street Tavern after his acquittal. I know you've got the attorney-client privilege, but tell us what you guys were talking about. I mean, is there one thing that he said to you that you thought, wow, that's cool?
Well, the relief he felt, and that other attorney, by the way, is Thomas Kniff, partner Razor and Kniff. And, Danny, for us, it became more than just a case, right? So we're trying to take care of Danny and make sure that he's treated fairly in a system that was geared to prosecute him maliciously in a manner in which was not supported by the evidence.
And that's that. I think we're in agreement on that one, right? I mean,
I would like to know about it. I mean, I'm in favor of him. I don't think someone like that should be prosecuted or go to jail. But I'm wondering, did they have evidence? Why did they bring this case? Was there some reason they thought that he did commit murder? Those who are listening, I'm sure you can look up the facts of the case. We won't go into them, except to say that he put some Black man in a chokehold and that man died. He apparently had a lot of drugs in his system, I think they said, or something like that. He had been known to be a problem in the subways because he had some kind of mental illness. So those are the facts, but I don't know. Oh yeah, Sir Glenn says he didn't have a Black man helping to subdue the violent maniac. He says his sarcasm didn't come through. Thank you for helping us understand.
Yeah, that he had a Black woman. Yeah, he had a Black woman helping.
So I mean, I don't know if there was. I mean, obviously the prosecutor thought there was enough evidence. I mean, it's such a controversial case. I don't know why things are always like this in New York. I don't know if people remember reading about the case many, many years ago of Bernhardt Goetz. That's like a famous case I learned about in school where this white man, like, I guess, shot some kids on the subway who were menacing people and I think had a knife or scissors or something. I think he wasn't acquitted, but didn't get the full, the full charges, because I think maybe one of them may have died or something. I'm not sure. But it reminds me of that case when I read about it. But I mean, what do you expect? I mean, in a way, he's a good Samaritan, right? I mean, he was trying to help other people. Oh, yeah. So
No,
Sir Glenn remembers Bernie Getz. That's right. That was a very famous case. A lot of people
that's
still
good.
remember that case. Yeah. People said the same thing there. They're like, did he have to kill them? But, he was trying to defend himself. And I think if you
Right.
attack someone, you can't be sure what's going to come back at you. And that's what came back at them. I don't know. What do you think, Fletcher?
Yeah, well, I feel like when you get attacked, you're going to kind of like flight or flight mode, and you're, the way that I was always, trained, I guess, by my family and anything, is that if anybody comes at you, you got to be prepared for the worst, and you have to be able to defend yourself to the utmost, and not, whatever happens after that, you deal with it after.
Right.
Your main thing is to stay alive. And if your family's in danger, you protect your family. If women or children are present, you always protect the women and children over your own safety. I don't think that's what's being taught anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what I think he was doing too, right?
Yeah. I mean, supposedly that's what everybody's been saying, that it's one of those things where you're basically he was just basically helping the people that were there.
So why are people so mad? Last week when we were here, you played for us a video, I think it was of a woman, but I've seen some of a man basically saying they're going to bring war, that this was really, really awful. So where are they coming from with that?
Yeah, they're basically saying that he's a vigilante. He was a vigilante. So now people should be vigilantes too. And it just goes into more of this whole kind of thing where it's just they think that this was white people just open season on blacks.
Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
What is wrong? I made the sign of the cross over that. You don't say that.
Yeah.
See, that she lost me there. I mean, honestly, I can understand people being angry. I think you weren't there. It's hard to say what's happening in the moment. I know the optics don't look good for certain people, but I don't think of it in a black-white thing. If I'm on the subway and somebody is menacing people and I am in danger, I don't care that it's a white guy who's helping me. I don't care if it's a black guy who's menacing. At that point, who cares about that? Whoever cares about that? But when she starts coming out with, now GD, everybody and GD America, no, I'm sorry. You've lost any moral high ground now, because honestly, vigilante, I don't know, this is probably a very thin line between self-defense and vigilante. I think vigilante is someone who goes out of their way not to ask the law enforcement to help them, but to just take matters in their own hands. But if you're in the situation still, how is that vigilantism? Isn't that just self-defense?
Yeah, with other people.
Right.
That's the thing. You're in the situation with other people. So
I think the prosecutor should have let this go.
Yeah, so this was booty cam footage,
Right here. Yeah. Okay, what did you see?
What did I see? I was sitting over there. I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, hey, I'm willing to die. I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everyone turned around. So this young man, he got belligerent and he tackled him down. Oh. The one that just passed away in the brown jacket, the one that just went past.
That's like, they were just, they were saying that he was he was, belligerent. He was not. It wasn't a good situation, no matter what happened.
It wasn't a good situation.
And but
At the end of the
like I
day,
said,
this was
yeah,
regrettable regardless. Yeah.
yeah. No, it was one of those things that was regrettable, but when you have to protect yourself, you have to protect yourself. Uh, and like I said, if there's women and children present, and that's the thing. So
I mean, it's terrible though that this is a Marine. It's somebody who, even if he was wrong, it didn't seem to be intentional. Maybe he snapped. I don't know. How hard did he hold him? I guess that some people who were against his being acquitted said, people were saying, let him go. He's had enough. But adrenaline, like you say, takes over. And I don't know that it would have made a difference, because what I understand is that the man, may he rest in peace, was alive when help came.
right, but I guess
So he obviously was very fragile, right? He had a lot of issues health-wise. So even if he stopped, it looks like that was enough for him. What were you going to say, Fletch?
No, it did. It did look like they were. There was other things, other situations, right? It wasn't just.
Yeah, things were wrong with him.
Yeah. There was something up. It wasn't just like a regular.
But it does make you concerned, because honestly, this feels like you started saying, being people treated differently, because there was a situation earlier with a black man who, I don't know, New York is going crazy, who had stabbed another man on the subway in self-defense, and he was never charged. I guess he was charged and then released, and then they dropped the charges because they said
it was something else. But people also like pushing people on the subway. I mean, the subways
but for this guy,
really
they wanted to make an example out of him. I think that's the problem why he wants to sue now, because they kind of ruined his life. I mean, he had to spend all this time defending himself, all this money, his reputation, his family, all the strain and heartache and fear, and being in the line of fire. He could have been sent to prison. I mean, this is really terrible, and it seems like, what, you could have let this go. But I mean, someone died, I guess, but then someone died the other time too. But they gave the other guy benefit of the doubt. They didn't give him benefit of the doubt. Do you think it's because of optics?
It's got to be because of optics, because you have. I think a lot of the other situations, they were. I think it was a black woman, black and two black men. I believe, and they're pushing for this whole thing where the injustice in the area, which they have been. And I think this is one of those things where you have to look at case by case, but the media is so hyped to sensationalize, where we do have these situations where, things just jump on it, and a lot of things are done for optics, because you have people, just being released, attempted murder or anything like that. Oh, just release, or cashless bail and all this kind of stuff, to where, hey, it's not really working out for the city, but you get, a military guy that some say went too far, some say just right. We weren't there. We weren't in the case. We didn't hear all the testimony. We did hear a lot of people outside saying that it was, that they felt that unsafe, and he had also assaulted a lady not too long ago, and he was out. Because that's the thing, it was just out. There's the system that was there and in place. It's you're out. But I think it's one of those things to where you do have a DA who wanted to make a statement to say no, I can make my bones with this one, and he did make his bones, but it might not be the bones that he was looking for. So.
Yeah, I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
Anyway, may the dead man rest in peace. We're sorry that he's gone. I'm sorry that things didn't work out for him in this life. I pray that God is merciful to him. And we pray that for Jordan Neely, that he goes on and has an easier and peaceful life after such a stressful situation, and that, he'll do what's right going forward too. That was a terrible situation. Basically, at the end of the day, don't ride the New York subway.
Right.
That's the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story, right?
It's very simple. Take an Uber.
Yes, right.
Walk.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, one of the things that we never expected to hear that Justice Brown Jackson is to make her Broadway debut. Now,
It's
I was
pronounced
not
debut. It's you with the
debut.
French. You with the French.
Anything with French, I'm
It's
not.
debut.
Yeah,
Which just means she's making her first appearance. She's embarking on her first time doing something. So this is a Supreme Court justice. We have never heard of this. I don't think I've been reading that people say they have never in the history of the Supreme Court seen someone take a cameo role in a professional production. In this case, it's a
right.
Broadway play. Some people, I'd like to hear what you think, Fletcher. So just so that people know there's a controversy about this. Some people think it's terrible. They think that she's grandstanding, that she's bringing too much attention to herself, that she's bringing down the office, that she's compromising the dignity of the office, that she shouldn't be in it. Some don't like the play itself because it's Romeo and
Right.
Juliet, which is famous plays by William Shakespeare. But I guess the play has taken some liberties for the sort of transformation alphabet kind of situation. And some think that, it's kind of problematic for her to be in the play because it's like saying you're endorsing a view and those cases are still coming before you. So, it's like
Right.
you're going to be deciding cases. It sounds like you already saw, yourself, with what side we're on. But we don't want to know that you have, okay with this, because then it's almost like, are you really impartial when someone brings you a case? Maybe like that Canadian guy, of course, he wouldn't bring it before the Supreme Court because he's in Canada, the United States. But if somebody in that situation, they're going to think, okay, well, we already know your side. But I think we already
Right.
know that anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think, Fletcher? You're okay with Justice Brown being in the Broadway show? I don't know if she's dancing, singing, or just walking on.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be way, way off Broadway, right? But
No, I think
guess
it's no.
it
I
is
think it's
Broadway.
right on. No. It's not off Broadway. It's for real Broadway. No, this is a
What?
real. Yeah. It's a Broadway
So I
show.
guess from what we read here is she will appear on a walk-in role in the Broadway musical comedy called *And Juliet* on Saturday night production. The Supreme Court officially confirmed. And it's Juliet, excuse me, is a modern take on William Shakespeare Romeo and Juliet, in which the female protagonist ditches her famous ending for a fresh beginning on a second change at life and love her way. According to promotional site, musical features 90s and early on pop songs from the likes of Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, and Kelly Clarkson.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, so I guess it was her childhood dream to be on Broadway, and now she is.
Who hasn't had that? That's everybody's childhood dream who likes theater. All the theater kids give a shout.
Yeah, and I guess part of the problem is that they're saying that Romeo, I guess, is bisexual or something like that. That Juliet's best friend is non-binary. So
are you trying to get us struck? Can you try to use euphemisms?
All right, yeah. Well,
I like what Sir Glenn says.
I never saw. For us, right?
Well, I don't know. Sir Glenn says never saw Clarence Thomas on a fishing show. That is very cute. That's true. You never did. I don't think you ever will.
I would totally watch that though.
Would you watch? I would watch it actually. I wish you would do it. I would watch that. So you didn't say your opinion. You don't like the show, but what do you think? Let's say it's a show you liked. Would you?
I mean, at one point you kind of say, can they not have a life? It's not like they're enshrined in something like that. I mean, the Pope that we venerate and stuff like that. He used to play football sometimes, so I think it's one of those things where you're like, why can't she have a life where she does something else and enjoy something? And now this is not a hanging around with a theater group in the Hamptons. This is Broadway, so in a sense, you're almost thinking, is it one of those figures, right? Because would she have that role if she isn't who she is?
Of course not.
Right. So you're kind of going to yourself, this is almost like one of those, they weren't they complaining because Clarence Thomas had like, he had a
I'm gonna
discount
snap for
on a
that. That's
bus
a
or
great
something.
point. That's a great
So,
point.
but
How
we
is
don't
this
hear
not?
nothing about. How is this not
That's
similar?
true.
Right?
How is this also not giving some kind of gift? How is this also not kind of like they say, okay, Clarence Thomas accepted gifts, bribes, whatever, they get all kinds of favors. This is a favor. Her childhood dream to be on a Broadway show. You know how hard it is to get on Broadway? Oh my gosh. I've had friends on Broadway. You have to be at the top of your game and be amazingly talented, be in the right place and right time, often know someone. It's amazing. It's like very few people will ever do it, and she gets to do it. It's because of her position.
Right.
So is that not something? I agree with you though, Fletcher. At the end of the day, is it that serious? I understand why people are upset though. I do. I think they feel like, she is going outside the lines a little bit, by doing something like this. This is not what we expect our justices to do. We want you to maintain the dignity of your office. Don't come down to popular entertainment. Or Sir Glenn says, gag me.
Gag me with a backhoe.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what that is. That's why I didn't say it. I'm like, what kind of
Backhoe
animal is that?
It's a machine who has that that big like claw and stuff that takes up dirt.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You've seen them
yeah.
around.
I mean, I at least I don't think it's going to be an ongoing performance. I think she does it one time, hopefully. I mean, for her to go to that show, it's got to be a lot of security. I'm sure Secret Service, because she is a sitting justice.
Completely, yeah.
I think that there's going to be all kinds of inconvenience. So you wouldn't want to go the time she's there, because I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of checks and so forth. It's almost like not worth it. I don't know why they really want her in it. I guess just again to help her, have her childhood dream to be in a Broadway play. I don't know. Was she a theater kid? Did she do like acting and stuff? Why was that?
I don't know.
Something she
I
wanted
guess
to do?
this is her dream. So
I guess
that's
maybe
one
this
of
is
those
what
things.
she always
Yeah.
wanted to do. Yeah,
this is what her thing. So, but like I said, if they were coming after Clarence Thomas, but we expect them to. Reciprocate with honors in this one too, right?
Yeah. No, they're gonna just say it's awesome, it's great, it's whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's an excavator, so it's like it's got that big like.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So excavating away. Vatican quietly removes listing from LGBT Jubilee pilgrimage from calendar.
The Alphabet Jubilee.
Again, the Alphabet Jubilee.
So this was. Go ahead. Yes, this was very controversial, Fletcher.
Yes,
so
completely.
I mean, Catholic news people, blog people. You have your, trads, radical traditionalists. You have yours in the, on the other side. Those in the middle. All kinds of people. So this is a very pro Alphabet group that during next year's Jubilee, so I don't know how often the church does this, but it goes back to the Bible. If you read in the Old Testament how God will call a Jubilee year, that's a year that in the Old Testament, people were required to forgive debts. So even debts people owed you a lot, just let prisoners free, like have a year of like mercy basically for people and big celebrations. So the church does it also like every, 20 years, 25, whatever it is. And so they're going to do one in Rome in 2025. And there's a lot of great things going on. People are traveling there and whatever. And usually on the calendar, there are like official groups, like maybe Knights of Columbus, who are going to come and bring a group, and they're going to be, feted, shown around the Vatican. It's like their day. So they never before had like Alphabet people. And so what people were mad about, I don't know. People have different views. I don't know if some people were mad just that they're there at all. I don't think that's it. That's not Catholic. I mean, we don't reject people for their sin. We want them to come to Christ. I think what people didn't like was it seems like we are loud and proud the way we are. Like they're promoting it when that's literally not what we teach. Like we're saying that's, the Catechism of the Catholic Church says that sin is intrinsically disordered. That's not how God made us. You have to repent, you have to pray, you have to ask God for the grace to live a chaste life, whatever. And they seem to have a different take. And so a lot of people were really angry, like, what are you doing? And now it's removed from the calendar. So people think, oh, maybe we got through to them, but other people think, no, they're just probably hiding it. They're still coming. They're still going to do what they're going to do. Oh, it's every 25 years. Sir Glenn has clarified. Thank you so much. I didn't know. So every 25 years. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The Jubilee.
Yeah.
year.
And they basically, they have, they have it on the calendar. They did say that they took it down. And it's, I guess it's a organization called Association for Jonathan's Tent, another group. Some say it's no longer active. Other people have they have a link saying, yeah, it is active. It is one of these, very subtle rainbow, thing on the corner. And a lot of people were, upset about it. The thing with the Jubilee is that a lot of people make pilgrimages, it's like walking the road and stuff like that. It's not an exclusion thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
What people were saying is that they were being they were being promoted, right? A lot of people claim that the Pope was promoting this. The Pope is not, checking out online forums for I'm sure it's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in organizations personally. And I've seen the videos, like for this last couple of days, Trump, it's like Pope endorses, no.
So we know where you stand here, Fletcher. It sounds like.
Don't you want them to come to the church? It's not a sponsorship. Right.
Well, I don't know. I think that's controversial because some say it is sponsored. Like, because since when have we had a group that's defined by their sexuality beyond the calendar? It was always by their role in the church. So it's almost like you're saying, this is our role in the church, right? To be in pride. Or you don't agree?
I agree. In other words, I don't agree that they should be put in a pedestal, right? If they feel like this is kind of whatever it is they're doing, I don't begrudge them trying to be better, right?
Right.
I guess my thing is when they come and, like say you have to do X or whatever like that.
Right.
The fact that they exist, there's always been people that have certain proclivities and stuff like that. I guess my thing is the whole feeling like the church is sanctioning this, which I don't believe it is, because you're just even the name. Unless you know what it is, I would have no clue. It doesn't say, "Hey, this is where the blah 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 group." It doesn't say that.
I think it has to do with the group too, because I don't think the group advocates, let's be chaste, let's ask God for the grace to overcome what must be a very heavy cross. Because if you have feelings that you can't really control or have trouble controlling, I should say, with God, everything is possible. There's nothing impossible with God. But you have trouble. It's something that other people easily don't have to take care of in their souls or take care of, and you do. It's not an easy thing, but I don't know if this group is saying, listen, we want to live in accordance with God's truth, as taught to us by the, Christian church for, 2000 years, which, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He doesn't change with the times. So if he says something is not for you to do, it's for you not to do. Now, others would disagree with that. Oh, it was misunderstood. The church got it wrong all this time, or things have changed. You get an update. But I don't think that's what the best theologians say. And that's not what our common knowledge or understanding and truth says. It's just not. So I guess that in a sense, it seems like they were for promoting the sin rather than promoting the healing of the sinner. But you're saying that's not the case. That maybe that people got it wrong.
Yeah, so this is the buddy Pope Splendor over here on X, and he had posted this because
Your
a lot
fellow
of people
Pope
are running.
splainer.
Yeah, how did I become a Pope splainer?
You're a Pope splainer. That's what they call it. Because people are so mad at Pope Francis because he seems to be a little bit heterodox, let's say, not orthodox. He seems to be out there being a little bit different, and a lot of people don't like him for that. A lot of people really don't like him for that. We're going to have a show. We keep threatening these shows we're going to do apart from our news, Birds on the Wire show. We're going to do a new show that, more focused on something, which is those who are saying he's not even the Pope, which is a whole nother story. We'll have to come back to that. We won't go into it now, but some people, but then other people say, people like Fletcher, you are Pope-splaining, meaning you're always explaining away his irregularities instead of just admitting that these were irregularities. But I'm not calling you out. Go for it.
No, I mean, I don't care. You can be wrong along with Breitbart and all the rest of the folks. Woo-hoo, so this is, it did itself. So fake news. Breitbart literally has a headline claiming that Pope Francis had proclaimed a special jubilee for LGBT community. How is a group?
No, I don't think that ever happened.
Okay, how is a group? But this is not only
true.
fake news; it's inflammatory.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
Who proclaimed it? So, LifeSite News, Taylor Marshall, and Bishop Strickland. I actually went on. Now,
be careful.
Bishop
I don't think. Don't. No, that's not nice.
Hold on. Bishop Strickland is the one who also pushed this. I actually went and commented on Bishop Strickland, saying, "Bishop, in all seriousness, this has been proven false. This is not right." He's getting some people that are not telling him right. And Taylor Marshall also got it right. Calling you out, Mr. Marshall.
I'm not as fond of smoking jacket. I'm not fond of smoking jacket, dry smoking jacket, Marshall. I am fond of Strickland, Bishop Strickland. But I don't know. How did they get it wrong? What did they say that's wrong?
They say so they're saying Pope Francis had proclaimed a special jubilee for LGBT community. How do they get
that's
that?
Not true. Yeah,
that's not true at all.
No.
Right? So the Vatican already talked to Rutgers. If they have to even go outside our Catholic media, they talked to Rutgers about it. And the real story is the Vatican Store started that they allowed any group to register. You can go on their website, register for the pilgrimage. What is the pilgrimage? You go and walk towards, the site of the Jubilee. So how is that? Is that some kind of special, hey, we're setting up a tent for you and printing out flags, So any group is allowed to register and put themselves on the calendar. It is not an endorsement of sponsorship. Anyone, you know how many mafiosos and gangsters and drug dealers have, basically people going on pilgrimage for them, right? I mean, if we want to get real on this, right? But this is not only is it inflammatory, is completely a lie, and I think they should not only retract, but they should actually apologize, including LifeSite. I'm sorry, because
that's fair.
They should basically say, you know what, this is not. We basically we stepped on it a little bit because it's not.
But you know what? To be fair, I mean, you made a great case here, Fletcher. You need to join the lawyer for Jordan, for Daniel Penny. I think though, hey, you made a great case. I honestly didn't know people were saying it that way. I always thought it was just that they had signed up and that people were saying that they shouldn't have signed up the way they signed up, because we don't really honor people for their sexuality. We honor them for, are you part of the Confraternity of Mary? Are you doing, homeless education? Are you doing, drug outreach for the poor? If you just say, unless you're reaching out to help people change, if you're just saying, oh, we're here, we're queer, we're fabulous, get used to it, that's not really what you do. But you're right. And Sir Glenn has got it. He's get him, Fletcher. Fletcher told us. Y'all, listen. I'm sorry. Fletcher told us It's true
Going
that first of all,
lazy.
they never did say there was a whole jubilee for the alphabets. They're just a jubilee for everybody, and they and it's true they have a right to sign up, I suppose. But to be fair, I think this Pope Francis has a lot of people really on edge because he has walked the line a lot of times with some of the statements, comments, and things that he seems to have allowed. He's a little bit more, he's unconventional, Fletcher, and
these are unconventional times. That's all I have to say.
I don't know. Sometimes I think he
more.
goes a little too far. He goes a little too far too.
Like you said, we'll have a show about it.
We'll have a show about it. I think y'all bring popcorn because we're gonna. I feel like it's gonna be.
It's gonna be spicy.
Because that's gonna be spicy. Because I don't fully agree with Fletcher here, but I do this time. You kind of. You
have a right to be wrong. Everybody does.
But no, he didn't. I'm gonna bring backup. There's a lot of people on my side.
Bring all the black up you need. That's all I need. That's all right. I'll take them all out.
Catholic
but this more of this nonsense is what causes all this stuff to happen like this. So this New York Post, Pope Francis to open 5 sacred portals on Christmas Eve for a ritual that's never been done before. You get this kind of nonsense.
You got to explain this to us, Fletcher. I did not see this story.
So this is some ridiculous things. So everybody's been pushing this, and oh my gosh, if you go to social media, I'm going to show you some of the craziness about this. This is the New York Post being like nuts and out there. And more people that are Jackson. And people like this, this stuff. So they got obviously ugly pictures of the Pope. It's so ridiculous. And they got this one is popular. This one's been all over, like some kind of like portal thing and all that stuff. He's opening portals on Christmas Eve. And then you got buffoons out here saying like, that, oh my gosh, he's going to get.
And I looked into it just briefly and saw that he was talking about opening some doors in the Vatican. But strangely, my guides are telling me that the only thing that he's able to open is black hole.
Oh, so it's opening black holes. He's
what in the witch was that?
That was a witch, right?
What in the witch?
Pope is summoning evil thing in biblical times and stuff. The Pope is opening sacred portals once in a quarter rituals. It's so.
Okay. No, Fletcher,
okay. So this
Fletcher,
is it. This is it.
Exactly. I'm not asking you to tell us what it really is instead of you ranting about what people have said. Thank you.
Okay. This is what it is. My homies, Catholic Arenas, thank you so much. We didn't have to go this far, but this is basically a typo from the New York Post because what the Pope is opening is doors.
Which are called portals because they're portals to the church. The thing is, here's the thing. Americans are the most ignorant people sometimes in terms of language. The word portare or port, they all mean door. And you're talking about Italian and Latin when a lot of times when the church uses words, especially because we're an ancient church, it's 2,000 years old, this church. So a lot of words we'll use, like we won't say communion, we'll say Eucharist. And people are like, what does that mean? Well, it's a Greek word that means basically the same thing. It means Thanksgiving, but it refers to that, the act of sitting and having communion. So, and the transubstantiation. So like, I can see them saying, he's opening the portals. And they're like, they mean some kind of like Sir Glenn says, the Pope is now sorcerer supreme.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do?
And that's not what it means. It just means opening the great door. Yeah.
The Pope's out here like, the mirror dimension and stuff. Now you got the witches all excited. And all this kind of
stupid that's so crazy.
It's just so stupid. Yes,
no, it's just opening. Go ahead. Go ahead, Fletcher.
He's opening extra doors that usually seal. One was actually behind brick. The Vatican sold, folks, is very old. One was actually covered behind bricks, and they took some of those bricks out because they were fixing the wall, and now they're able to open that door. Because what? Guess what? The year of Jubilee. Tons of people are coming, millions of people, hundreds of thousands are going to be in that area. You're going to have a lot of people that, these are big doors, but not that big. So they're opening extra doors. There's even one that's going to be opening like at a prison to have the prisoners access, some kind of access to the Vatican. This is all kinds of stuff to where you're basically having access. If you have a convention center or an event at a convention center, guess what? You put more guards of security and you open more doors because there's going to be a big event. Jubilee is a huge event. They're opening more doors. I'm sorry if the stupid people at the New York Pokes, you can't even read, that you don't know what a porta is in Italian.
Yeah, which just means door.
Yes.
And you're so
dimension.
LOL, mirror dimension. Yeah, I mean, it does. The thing is, people are not aware of the fact that, like you said, it's an ancient church. We have been around since, 1st century AD, after Christ rose and the church was started. We have a lot of traditions and buildings and things that are really, really old. I mean, Pope Francis's parish church, which is, he's considered the Bishop of Rome, is St. Peter's. I mean, it's really, really old. I mean, it's hundreds of years old. And those doors, if you go to old Catholic churches, even in the United States, you'll go to some, like even if you go to DC, you'll see they used to have huge, because that was the architectural style at the time when they were first built, huge doors way above your head. I mean, you see the Pope right here in the picture, they're enormous. And so oftentimes those doors were only opened for special occasions, like, a big feast, a big event, dignitaries coming, or as Fletcher said, a lot of people are coming. You got to open up all the doors. And so usually you will enter through the side. If you ever go to a Catholic church, like even in Chicago, like there's one St. John Cantius, you'll see the big, big doors. And then there's like little side doors. Typically people would go in Pittsburgh. There's one beautiful church up on the hill. Same thing. Now,
right. Oh, we just talked about it today, La Basilica de Guadalupe.
Right.
You have a front entrance into the Basilica de Guadalupe. Guess what? Today, in a birthday of our Holy Mother, our Virgen de Guadalupe, they have more doors open. Did the stupid New York Times go over there? Mexico opens doors to other dimensions.
To other dimensions. Yeah, and I mean, it is symbolic. I mean, honestly, it is symbolic. Like, for example, when the Pope first became Pope or thereabouts, he called the Jubilee also. I don't know if it was called Jubilee. Actually, it wasn't a Jubilee because, like Sir Glenn said, it's every 25 years. I think it was called Year of Mercy. I think it was like 2016 or so. And basically, it was just like, I'm coming on. I want to proclaim, my theme, my theme of my pontificate is going to be, divine mercy, God's mercy. And he had symbolically had a door, like, you walk through this door of mercy. It's not there's no sacred, no, it's sacred. Yeah. But it's symbolic. It's saying those of you who feel burdened by your sins, by your past, by problems, walk through this door to Christ, come into the church through this door. And like, there's a kind of, prayer that you had posted on the door. You're supposed to say as you go through, and it's symbolic. We're very symbolic people, human beings, but especially Catholics, we're very symbolic, so opening the door, it's like, look, there's going to be a door that like you said, 100,000 pilgrims are expected to come. I'm sure it'll be more than that. Actually, let's open the door to them coming. But no, there's no mirror dimension. He's not Sorcerer Supreme. It just shows they don't understand religion in these journalistic enterprises. They don't care to find out. They don't know the Catholic faith. They don't understand it's all these mythical rumors and crazy stuff. And because it is a international church, you saw that when Notre Dame was being, recommitted and dedicated, world leaders came. The Catholic Church is the city on a hill. It cannot be hid. It is the church Christ started. It's big. A lot of people of every nation, tribe, tongue, big rulers come. So everyone has, their eyes on it, but they don't always know what they're looking at, and they don't bother to try to find out. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, the things are crazy, but I just wanted to touch on that.
No, that was great, Fletcher. I didn't even know about that story. So they're saying, so you got these witches all worried. Are they worried or are they happy? He's going to open up this new dimension.
Yeah, some is like, there's opening a black hole. It's
a black hole. What are we going to do with the black hole, though?
I don't know, but I think that's racist. How come there ain't no white holes? But yeah, speaking of craziness, this has just been reported on. So a high school teacher was caught on video allegedly attempting to recruit her class into a apostrophe X cult, where they can be nude with I'm not gonna say it,
with grown-ups,
but with grown-ups, and it's like this is obviously the lady.
That's crazy.
And the only reason we know this, by the way, this lady's obviously culturally appropriating. How come they don't
I
get
know.
her for
I'm not
that?
into her with the tie dye and the dreadlocks.
Yeah,
and
tie
the
that in
rainbow
the dreadlocks.
dreadlocks.
Come on, what is that?
I'm not liking that look
But
either.
she basically is. So the girl who caught this on camera is now being. I guess she was threatened. I guess by the school.
Wow.
It says they threatened her with a felony.
What?
It says update us. Next door she says that she's currently being investigated by the police, and they think she's gonna get fired. But it's ridiculous. So this is kind of like this is the lady speaking right here. So the girl, she's pretending to put on her makeup. I don't know what kind of school is this that she can put on her makeup, but you can see.
I mean, we were not allowed to wear makeup when I was in school.
Right.
But then I went to a Catholic school.
Right. So you can see in the bottom the words, right, that she's saying. She said, "I had the craziest teacher today. She walked on us and she was talking to them about buying a house." Right. And she wants all the kids to not wear any clothes and, all kinds of stuff. So she's saying whatever tribe members the class want to stick with me.
Wow.
This is a cult with a little farm community.
And we can just live our lives.
And we can just live our lives. This is a paid teacher.
This is an actual teacher in a public school.
Right. She's saying however you want it. If you want to be nudist, to be a nudist. I didn't even know nudist was a word, so she's creating new.
No,
English
that's a
words.
word. There's
Is
such
it?
a word. Yep, there's such a thing. They exist.
I'm a nudist.
They have colonies.
But this will be background checks on you.
There will be background checks on you because we will have children here.
Because we will have children there.
Wow.
I mean,
that's and help me understand how this helps them to, I don't know, do well on the SAT.
Well, obviously, it's not
get
about
into college.
the SATs.
So what is she teaching exactly?
Obviously, she's teaching how to have a cult. And that's whenever you guys think that the Catholic Church is a cult,
exactly. That's what's so bothersome, because people look at priests and they say, "Oh, we know what you guys," and of course there are some who are horrible.
Right.
But do you know there's many more of those horrible ones who do abuse children in the public schools than there are in the Catholic Church? It always have been. And you see right here, I don't know how these people get hired and they don't vet them. For her to do that is very damaging to kids. I mean, she's advocating for something that is contrary to morals. It's not supposed to be talked about in school. It's not what she's there to teach them. And I don't think, there's a lot of them like this. We've all seen this. And we've seen so many of these teachers, do horrible things with children, but no one ever says anything about them.
No, you don't have anything with that. So, but that's
she needs to be immediately called into the principal's office. That's insane.
Well, supposedly they had said that maybe she did get fired, but you're like, really? I mean,
She needs to be prosecuted. I mean, what kind of class is that? And isn't that kind of, you can't talk to kids that way? I mean, there must be some law. I don't know.
Yeah, what class is that? Is that
right?
Home cult 101? I mean, so yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where you're kind of going, hey, maybe there's something up here.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
That's all there is to it, because it's something ain't right. Another thing that's not right, this Greta Gerwig, the director of Barbie, she was given helm of the new Narnia films by Netflix, and she begins filming this July of next year. And according to the producer, Amy Pascal, this Narnia is going to be a very new take, and it's all about rock and roll.
Interesting.
Now,
okay.
I don't know about anyone, but I've never thought that Narnia it's something that's rock and roll.
Well, maybe, you know, get updated, Fletcher.
Yeah.
Sir Glenn is cracking me up right now.
No. Yeah, this is one of those where just like, yeah, take it. You know, I should put that
Please,
meme.
Jesus.
You know, those memes where it's like, what is it? You know, is Michael sound the trumpets? You know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? It's like you ran out of ideas. You know, the book is
Right.
good enough. You don't need to embellish the book. There's a reason it's famous. It's good already. You don't have to do a rock and roll version. You don't have to do an, you know, alien spaceship lesbian version. You can just do the show. I mean, it's good already. You don't have to add anything. I don't know what's this impulse with modern directors and artists that they have to, you know, adapt it in all these really strange ways. Just, you know, just redo it.
Yeah, you would think, right?
It's
But
good
I don't
already.
know.
It's
I
good
don't know.
already.
It's what we got to do is we gotta bring that really strong rock and roll essence to
Rock and roll Narnia. Well, you know,
yeah.
I know the more you say it, the more kind of getting into it, though.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. That's to
not
differ
the
from
It's not
Sir
your. That's
Glenn
the
with "Please Jesus, take me now," which he's
No.
saying. I just, you know, I don't know. It kind of sounds good. A rock and roll. I can get with that. A rock and roll
Another bad take from
Narnia. Another bad take.
Yeah. Please, guys, let us know what you think. And
that's
yeah,
not true.
don't have merciless bad takes on this one.
I think that's it.
But we do want to congratulate Selena Gomez, who is Catholic. Just got shared that she got engaged to
Really?
Senor Benny Blanco, I believe he's some kind of producer, and they just had a Taco Bell picnic. I think we're gonna forgive that one. Maybe it's like where they first met or something. I don't know. From my understanding, both these people are very rich.
This is all a new concept to me. There's such a thing as a Taco Bell picnic.
There is such a thing as a Taco Bell picnic.
You really, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, of course you would just focus on the Taco Bell picnic.
Okay.
But
all right.
Well, yes, there's a Taco Bell picnic, and we want to congratulate them and pray that they would, you know, get married in the church and have a beautiful marriage. You know, it's nice to see young kids. Getting married, cool. And I guess at Taco Bell, she showed her bling. It's funny because it does look like it's a film set, so that's interesting. That's obviously a film set. Maybe she was in a production and stuff, or a movie.
I guess
video.
I can kind of see that. Yeah.
So they had their little Taco Bell dinner. So is this engagement sponsored by Taco Bell? Shouldn't say, but also they shared with our friend Taylor Swift the little ring, which is a pretty girl, and we have Taylor Swift saying that yes, she will be the flower girl. So
I think she means bridesmaid, but fine.
Is that what it is? Yes, that is a bridesmaid.
I think she's being funny, and of course she has her cat, you know, cat lady. I don't get this pairing either. I don't get the pairing, first of all, of Taco Bell with engagement. I just cannot eat Taco Bell. I just do not feel good after eating that. I cannot eat that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But also the two of them, I guess we're saying, do you know this person? Do you follow this person, Fletcher Blanco?
No, I don't. I have no clue. Yeah, he's a producer, I take it. So that's all I know. I guess they had a tumultuous relationship. So anybody know anything, let us know. Leave a comment, and hopefully, you know, but good luck to them. You know, it's nice to see kids get married. So if first when I could chat, Little Women, my limes.
Okay, so I don't know the reference, but I would love to chat with Lady Jen, and I really like Little Women. That was like my favorite thing to read as a kid. I read it so many times. I don't remember it well now. I used to like Tomboy Joe, but also the oldest sister too, whose name I'm forgetting right now. And oh no, there was one Elizabeth or Betsy, I forget now, but I used to love that little book. And yeah, we should have something on Little Women. That's actually really good. I'm sure it's been redone and ruined already.
I don't know. It's one of those things where like I'm not sure. I was not a partaker of the Little Women. Although I did have some hanging outs in carnivals and stuff like that, so I could probably have met Little Women, but not the kind you probably were thinking about.
Are you serious right now? Did you just make that joke?
No, I didn't.
You just made a horrible joke. It was
not. Did not.
That was a
Jen.
really low level dad joke. That was very low level.
What else do we want? Jen brought up Little Women. I have no clue about what Little Women is.
We're gonna have to book, right? Apologize now to little people because you made this little joke.
We're gonna have to have a disclaimer now.
Oh my goodness.
No. Okay, never mind. Well, you know that our President Trump made the Time Man of the Year cover looking like a boss.
Wow.
He gave the bell at the stock exchange, but he is like on a roll, tearing it up. Now he's saying that we're gonna give tremendous incentive, like I have to do the voice, right? We're gonna give tremendous incentives like no other country. Maybe I should let him do it. Yeah, let's go.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, go on. We're going to put it straight. We're going to give tremendous incentive like no other country has. We're cutting your taxes. We're going to cut them very substantially. We got them down to 21% from probably 42 or 44%, depending on where you are. And we got them down to 21. Everyone said that was a miracle. Now we're getting them down to 15, but only if you make your product here. Otherwise, you pay 21, which is not bad. It's in the middle of the pack, but 15 brings you down to among the lowest. And for those that are running the big companies, those great, big, beautiful companies, nobody's going to be leaving us. You're going to be coming back. You're going to be bringing it back to the United States. We are incentivizing everybody to come back to the United States. We want you back here. Car manufacturers, everybody. And we have one product that nobody has really to the extent that we do. It's called oil and gas. There is no country in the world that has more. We're number one. I brought it to number one during my first term in terms of production. We're going to be number one plus. We'll do numbers that nobody will really see before. And when that happens, prices are going to start coming down because people can't afford their groceries, and they're going to be affording their groceries very soon.
All right. I mean, who doesn't want to hear that, right? If you can afford groceries,
definitely.
You will be affording your groceries. I mean, that's what you want to hear. But
I mean, it's something that, yeah, go ahead. Pledge.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's something that I do believe did characterize one of the major problems with the campaign is that a lot of people felt that Kamala didn't articulate a clear plan for. It's almost like this is not real. Like the people who were commenting and lamenting her not winning, saying, "Oh, really? You care about the price of eggs and milk?" It's like, yes, we care about the price of those things and gas. And this is something that it looks like he's really taking action. And I think that's what a lot of people did elect him for, honestly. They care about that issue. And so he has a real plan, to make it difficult for countries to take business away from American citizens. So, in terms of doing the work here, making money here, I said, I think people do think the plan may be unrealistic, but I guess time will tell.
Yeah,
I guess time will tell. Yeah. I mean, but it's a plan. I think it's the whole point. I mean, we definitely didn't see that before, from the other side. It was all about, deleting. It was nothing about economic, except that, she's from the middle class and she's going to have an opportunity economy. Yeah. Other than that, we didn't know a plan. So that's what a lot of people didn't care for that.
Yeah. And so that's what we're going to say. Gas is down 50 cents a gallon where I live. And a lot of other places I hear, even like Texas, I hear there a lot of gas prices and stuff was going down. It's like an effect. They know that good things are coming, so I think it's going to have a is going to have a positive effect. No matter what happens, is better than what we have. But one of the things that I was seeing now is that Daily Wire uncovered this. I guess the Biden administration is trying to auction off unused border wall materials, knowing that one of the things is building the wall, making sure that border is secure. And they caught video of this. So I guess on the final weeks of the Biden administration, truckloads of unused border wall materials are being hauled away. Yeah, being taken to a government auction site where the bidding is an entire segment of wall of just $5.
What?
That's insane.
Yeah.
So the Border Patrol agent estimates that up to half a mile worth of wool is being transported every day. They're transporting parts of this wall out. Yeah, what are they doing this for? This doesn't make any sense. Are they just trying to make it more expensive, or
I don't know what they're doing. That just seems very bizarre.
Right? Why would they do this? What would be the why would be
I mean, if somebody watching knows, please write it down. Let us know, either during the live show or later. Anyone, we'll read your chat, try to understand. But this definitely does not bode well. I mean, why would you be selling off the wall? Seems like,
right. Why would you be selling off the wall?
You're selling off the China and the White House. What's going on?
Yeah, not only that, but you're selling all this steel for $5. That's insane.
Dang,
this
how
is
can we get some? That's a good deal.
I mean, even if you just take it and get it recycled, it's a great deal. I'm shocked.
So I guess the idea is so that Trump can't use it to build the wall.
Yeah,
they want to make it that more difficult. So let's just make it. If you want to build it, you have to buy all this stuff back. We're gonna sell it off, auction it for $5. Wow. Yeah, that seems nefarious. I don't care for that. Why are you doing that? We need money. Sell it for something that's market price. Then don't sell it like that.
Yeah. No, it's just crazy. It's just it's flabbergasted by this. But it's one of those things we kind of go saying, hey, it's just the administration doing administration things that makes no sense. So, but
yeah, I would agree. With that.
I do have a little surprise for you because I know maybe because today's a day of Lady Guadalupe, but maybe one thing that you didn't know is your buddy, Mr. Frank Sinatra, today would have been his birthday.
No kidding.
Yes.
Oh, no kidding. Our good old Blue Eyes.
Old Blue Eyes. He was born in 1915, Hoboken, New Jersey, and today would have been his 109th birthday of Senor Frank Sinatra. Distinctive voice with hits like "Fly Me to the Moon," "My Way." Sinatra's legacy was honored throughout various. Right.
Yes, he was just brilliant, a wonderful singer. It seems like a great guy. Eternal rest granted to him, O Lord, and let the perpetual light shine upon him. May the soul of Francis Sinatra and the souls of all the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace.
Amen.
And yes, I believe that is Nancy Sinatra,
so
his
she
daughter.
just posted this. She posted this in believe it was yesterday. Happy heavenly birthday, Papa. We miss you. We miss your hugs, but we find comfort knowing that you're watching over us from above. Although you're no longer with us, we feel you around us every day, Nancy Sinatra. And that is a picture of him and his daughter, Nancy.
That's pretty cool.
And I thought you would enjoy that because we're big fans of Senor Sinatra, who might be one day he might be a crooner saint. We don't know, but
yeah, I mean, I really loved his voice. His voice, it's really something, and I like him as a person too. He was a really cool guy. We have to do a show on it.
Right? What is
We
this?
won't bore you now, but we will hopefully, do
Right.
one. Please let us know if there's a show you want us to do. We're happy
Right.
to
Yeah. Let
oblige.
us know. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely
Something
want to do
that's
one on him because he was really important and
yeah.
just
He
a
was.
really overall interesting and cool guy, great artist.
Oh yeah. He had a lot of cool stories, especially from Vegas. So,
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
yeah, our auntie.
Oh no.
Yes, I
Oh
know.
no. Come
Yes, our
on.
auntie was
Oh,
at a Christmas party. Now you know what? This is a nice suit. I gotta give it to
it's a
them.
very nice suit.
So let's see what happened in this. So yeah, here we go.
And I give you permission that if you are going to someone's house who doesn't know how to cook, bring your own dish. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm all about no regrets.
Would you say she's inebriated?
She's a little happy. She's
It's
feeling
jovial,
good.
right?
She's jovial. I love
It's
that.
jovial.
She's feeling jovial. I think she's jovial.
Yeah, you bring your own dish.
That is absolutely a lovely suit on her. I'm glad she's looking well. It's a little bit of a she's looking well, but yeah, that's a little bit of a drunk auntie comment in the way that she delivered it. Yeah, the dranty.
Yeah.
Drunk
If you bring your own
auntie.
dish. And this
She's
lady,
still
I guess she
unburbened.
keeps this one lady over here, like the like secret agent. She's looking at her like, you see, like a face over here, like, let's simmer down or something. But it's at least she's healthy. So,
yeah.
So that's.
Sir Glenn tells us he had a little miracle already with Frank. So that might be, we might have to raise that with the Vatican canonization process. It's cured his lumbago, I think, lumbago. And I think that would be enough.
That would get a
cause started.
Yeah, that would,
to get a cause started.
I guarantee you, there's probably other things because we heard stuff. I mean, one of the reasons the strip was desegregated was because of him. And
It's true.
in Vegas. So
it's true.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So
that's
maybe
we can tell when
be,
we do our story. We can tell people.
Yeah,
about
we
that.
can find the miracles of
we'll have to let them interview Sir Glenn.
Right? Because there's like, Sir Glenn is like we have an important witness here that's gonna witness for because they do basically like a trial and they can go, hey, we have a witness for canonization, and here we have Sir Glenn, who's going to give an account on the side of Senor Frank Sinatra, right?
Yeah, I don't put it past him. I mean, I think, there's all kinds of ways that God uses people, and to, he could use people's music to heal. He can use, people's special talents and gifts to impart his love to people. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, Sir Glenn, devil's advocate. There's a side that takes the part to say the saint is not a saint. So they fight that way. They get to the truth. They won't just have everybody just sort of saying, oh, he was so great, They have someone whose role is to play the quote devil's advocate. And that person is to advocate against the saint, the proposed saint. So yeah, that's where that term comes from. And we use it in everyday language. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is one of those cool things. Yeah, where you have but that's where like the what do you call it, mysticism of the church that people say it's mysticism.
Right.
It's just history,
It's just history. It's just we've been at it a long time.
Yeah, it's thousands of years of little funky things that
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, but we do want to, but we haven't been doing our little pet videos, right? And we should kind of go back to it. And these are like, you know how they say that humans look a little bit like their pets, right?
That
So,
is kind of true.
So
I've seen that.
You're insecure.
Oh, it's true. It's so true.
you hear that? He goes, hello.
Did he say, "Oh, are you serious?"
Yes. Yeah. So he goes, hello.
What?
Yeah. So like when
They
he
taught
goes,
him how to say hello?
yeah, it's like the person says hello.
What? What?
You hear that?
Oh my gosh,
So,
that's actually pretty
hello.
impressive.
Hello.
That's actually pretty good. He's like got into speech.
Yeah.
How cute. They spent, you know how much time they had to spend with that dog to teach him that?
No,
a lot.
That's the dog already knew. The dog already knew it.
Hello. I really like that. That's cute.
Oh, see, the dog basically, she saw she was falling, so the dog decided to fall. Also.
Oh, how cute. Oh my gosh, that is so cute.
It's so cute.
That is so cute. Oh my goodness.
And that is like, come on.
Okay,
son.
come on. Come on.
It's just, you know, the animals sometimes I feel like they just do stuff to kind of get on us, you know?
They're so cute. They really do. It's like sharing your life with them is really cool.
Right.
Yeah. It's
like,
really
wow,
smart.
We're gonna roll it out. Okay, it's time to exercise.
Cute. So cute.
Oh, see, look at the little like.
They're awesome.
It's like, hold
They
up.
really are. It's so awesome.
You watch. It's nap time.
Oh.
Isn't that
so
cute?
the guy is hopping along because he has a cast, so the dog's like, that's how we're gonna walk. We're gonna be, we're ride or die. You're hopping along, I'm
You
gonna
hop
hop
and
along.
I'm gonna hop. Yeah.
That is so cool. They are
That
great.
is cool. Yes, that is
Thank
awesome.
you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so this was gonna be a quick and clean, right?
Yeah, because it's the
thank
late night edition.
The late night birds.
Late night birds.
Yeah, we're promised we're gonna try to get better at this, where we actually have some kind of time schedule.
No. We're
But-
not getting better at it. We are testing times to see when
Oh,
our
yes.
audience wants us
Yes.
here. I don't know what
Yes,
you're
that's
talking
true.
about right now.
That's
Fletcher.
what it is. Yeah, we're just
Okay.
we're trying to see what time our audience wants to see. That's what it is. So yes.
Well, I know that Sir Glenn wants a 5 a.m. show, and we almost did that this morning.
We almost did. It's funny because we almost did the whole like. I think
we
should
think
do
of
a 5
him. We're
o'clock
like,
for some Glenn. Yes,
we're gonna
'Cause
do
we
it.
were
We're gonna
totally
show
like-
off.
Yeah,
and be
we were
like,
gonna
"Oh, you
show
said-
off and be
you
like,
said
yeah,
nothing
that's
but
right.
a word.
But then I think we went to bed like really late, and but, it's like
ooh,
okay, we
that's
have to
hard.
finish some stuff, and it's like, yeah, see, he was up.
He was up. You know what? We're gonna
Yeah.
surprise you one of these days.
Yeah, one time we're gonna surprise. Yeah, we're gonna surprise you. Like,
you.
ha ha, we're up too. But
I think the earliest we've made was like 9 a.m. But we can do it.
Yeah, I think we did. No, I think we was earlier. I think it was like 8:30 or something.
Did we do one? Okay. Yeah.
I
okay.
think so. I don't know, but thank you so much for
Thank you for
everybody,
staying up with us.
and thank you for staying up with us. And hopefully I'll see you next week. And
we'll see you on the flippity flip.
See you on the flippity flip. Have a good one. Ciao.
Have a good night.
Ave Maria, Maria, rogai por nós, Santa Mãe de Deus.